Something else concerning about Mr. Johnson while you were doing your investigation?
Yes, ma'am. When we ended up running him through our dispatch, it came back that he was a registered sex offender.
Enjoy the video, hit the like button.
All right. Sir, if you would, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right. Thank you. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do swear.
All right. Thank you. Miss Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. Officer Arriaga, how are you currently employed?
I am currently employed at the Canton Police Department.
And how long have you been with the Canton Police Department?
I've been with the Canton Police Department since April.
Okay. Now, were you working on June 6th of 2025?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And were you dispatched out to make contact with an individual by the name of Christy Sanders?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you initially make contact with Miss Sanders?
We initially made contact by phone in the HTO parking lot here in Canyon, and we got further information from her. Then
Let me ask you, what did Christy tell you was going on?
we were informed by Christy that a Desmond Johnson was in her residence and was not letting them leave, and she wanted him taken out of the apartment.
Okay. Did she give you any idea as to who Desmond Johnson was or what he was doing there?
All we were given at the time was that he was in the apartment and that she was letting him stay there for an unknown amount of time, and that he wasn't letting him leave, and that she wanted him to be taken out of the apartment by force if need be.
Now, when you say them, was there somebody else with Christy Sanders?
Yes, ma'am. At the time we were speaking to her, she had a Tyler Sersey with her.
And was it your understanding that both of them resided at this apartment that Mr. Johnson was at?
Yes, ma'am. No, we know of.
Okay. Now, what is the actual apartment, I guess, address where all of this was kind of happening?
5.
And that's here in Canyon, correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right. And so, did you ever then go to that apartment?
Yes, ma'am. So after we obtained a key from Christy, we went to the apartment, and I took a position on the second floor to provide overwatch for my officers on the ground floor. And my officers made contact with Desmond inside of the residence. From there, my sergeant then took him into custody, and other officers went inside the apartment to grab property that Desmond said was inside.
Now, was Desmond ultimately arrested that evening?
Yes, ma'am, he was arrested.
What was he arrested for?
The charges we had were for possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, and possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram.
And what was that I guess, controlled substance?
It was later determined that it was methamphetamine.
All right. And so, did you and the other officers become aware of something else concerning about Mr. Johnson while you were doing your investigation?
Yes, ma'am. When we ended up running him through our dispatch, it came back that he was a registered sex offender.
All right. And so, now at this time, did you yourself go into the apartment?
No, ma'am, I did not. There were other officers on scene.
Okay.
I did not make entry into the apartment at that time.
Okay. Did you ultimately end up going into that apartment that evening?
Yes, ma'am. A while later, we applied for a search warrant that was granted, and that's when I made entry into the apartment.
What did you observe when you entered the apartment?
There was a drug paraphernalia in the common area of the room and in the bedroom, and the apartment was in a state of disarray.
Now, were you able to determine at any point if the bedroom was Miss Sanders' bedroom?
Because of how the bedroom was set up, we believed it was, but we can never positively identify it was her bedroom.
What did you find in the bedroom?
In the bedroom, we found pipes that are commonly associated with methamphetamine. We found a water, commonly referred to as a bong, in the bedroom at the foot of the bed, and that is what we found inside the bedroom itself.
Were those items within easy reach?
Yes, ma'am. One was on the bed,
Okay.
and one was on a countertop.
All right. You said something about the common area. What was in the common area?
In the common area, there are some trays with an unknown residue. There was also more pipes that were found, commonly associated with methamphetamine.
Were there any items that appeared to belong to children?
Yes, ma'am. There was a little Tykes car that you roll around in, and there was a motorized electric vehicle that was there too.
Okay. And were those in close proximity to that paraphernalia?
Yes, ma'am. It was no more than 20 feet away.
Okay. Now, I guess based off of that search warrant, are you aware that Miss Sanders was issued a citation for paraphernalia?
Yes, ma'am. I believe one of our officers issued it, but I was not present during the time of it being issued.
But you are aware that that was issued?
Yes, ma'am. I am aware.
Was this the first time you had been called out to that apartment regarding Mr. Johnson?
No, ma'am. On a separate occasion, I do not have the current date in front of me. We were called out there for a disturbance, and that is when we walked out. We were dispatched out there.
And I mean, let me ask you, was that date prior to this June 6th
Yes,
incident?
ma'am. It was prior.
And what was the just general nature of that call?
It was for a female who was wanting to leave Mr. Johnson, and her parents were saying that he was not letting her leave, and we were then dispatched by the parent to meet the parents, and that is when we made contact at that number 105 apartment.
Now, was that particular female Christy Sanders?
No, ma'am, it was not Christy Sanders.
So that was a different female that, at the very least, was staying there with Mr. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Did Miss Sanders ever show up on scene during that incident?
I do not know that for a certain fact. I believe it was at the very end, but I cannot testify to that.
All right, but again, was that the same residence and apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And just in the interest of full disclosure, have you also run into Miss Sanders on another incident?
Yes, ma'am. I had a traffic stop with her in the 2800 block and on 28th Street prior to this incident in question.
Okay. So you're familiar with who Miss Sanders is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Kopp, any questions?
No, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wiggins?
When you had that second incident and you said the parents called saying that the girl couldn't be released by Mr. Johnson, was that a juvenile or was it an adult?
It was an adult, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness, Judge.
Anyone else have further questions for the officer?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anyone object to him being excused? No? Okay. Officer Arriago, I want to tell you, you've been on the Canyon Police Department for what, a few months?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to tell you, you are one of the most prepared officers I've ever had testify in 14 years. And it's such a pleasure to have somebody that prepares for our hearings. So I just wanted you to know that. Tell your supervisors we're all very impressed with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I'll go ahead and dismiss you so you can go back to your afternoon's day's business.
All right.
Thank you for your testimony and thank you for your service.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh. All right, Ms. Wildman, any other
Yes,
witnesses?
Your Honor. At this time, the department is going to ask to admit petitioners exhibits 1, 1A, and 1B, which were emailed to parties this morning. That is a copy of an information and cause number 138000038-1 out of the Municipal Court of Canyon, Texas. The subsequent nolo contendere plea paperwork and the subsequent judgment. Those are all certified copies from the Canyon Municipal Court and should be self-authenticating based on the rules of evidence.
All right, any objections?
No, Judge.
All right, petitioners exhibit 1, 1A, and 1B are admitted. All right, Ms. Wildman, any other witnesses?
Department will call Angela Tidwell.
Okay. Ms. Tidwell, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Tidwell, real briefly, let's get an update on how the kids are doing. Are Lily and Olivia still placed with their maternal grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did school year?
She finished strong. She's entering into the 5th grade.
Now, I don't know that this update was available before at the last court hearing. Has the maternal grandfather who was in the home unfortunately passed since our last hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I believe Ms. Wiggins had asked to get into counseling at the last hearing, since that was, unfortunately, I think we were kind of expecting that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is she still doing therapy?
Yes, ma'am. She's doing therapy every Saturday,
Okay.
weekly.
Okay, good. Now is she on any psychotropic medications?
Yes, ma'am. She was put on medications in June
Okay, and what was that for?
for ADD.
All right, and I guess June is pretty recent, so are they still having the necessary appointments to kind of make sure that that's working and keeping on top of that?
Yes, ma'am.
And is 10, correct?
That is correct.
Is she able to kind of voice her opinion on how that's helping or not helping?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are there any other updates that we need? Okay, and it looks like she has had a 504 plan in the past. Was that based off of her ADHD?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
And is Grandma on top of that, making sure that those accommodations are continuing as we start looking towards the school year starting up again?
Yes, ma'am. She is.
Perfect. All right, so then let's get an update. 2 getting pretty close to 3, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Does she have any kind of medical needs that are being addressed at this time?
She doesn't have any medical needs, but she is active with ECI.
Okay. And what sort of things do you know are they working on?
They're working on speech therapy and occupational therapy.
Okay. And is she, how often does she do that?
She's seeing ECI once a week, and they actually go to the residence of Nancy Trask.
Okay. And do they appear to be seeing some improvements?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And are there any other updates we need on time?
No, ma'am.
Do you know, does she go to daycare?
She is not attending daycare.
Is she going to be starting preschool in the fall, or is she too young?
She's too young.
Okay, gotcha. Now, in the court report, there was a section asking about whether or not Miss Trask, the kinship placement, had, I guess, been looking into getting licensed and potentially doing the PCA program at some point, and you had said no. Has that changed?
Yes, ma'am. I spoke with her kinship worker, and she has changed her mind, and she's going to move forward in that direction.
Okay, so she is looking to get licensed as a actual foster placement?
That is correct.
All right. And I want to say the initial reason she had given for not wanting to do that was because she was hoping the children would be placed back with the parents, but is she, I guess, willing to now be a long-term placement if needed?
Yes, she's willing to be a long-term placement.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the parents and the progress they're making. Let's start with Jerry Cisneros. What sort of contact have you been able to maintain with Mr. Cisneros?
So the last time I spoke with Mr. Cisneros was on June 10th, after I had attempted to locate him in Lubbock, Texas. I was able to make contact via telephone, but he is not giving me an address where he lives. He just basically stated that he lives in Ballinger, Texas, and that's the only form of contact I've ever had with him is through the telephone.
All right, and Mr. Cisneros has not been served in this case, correct?
That is correct.
And have you actively attempted to get a phone or get contact information from him and he's just not giving it to you?
That is correct.
All right. Now, have you attempted to go over the family plan of service with him?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Has he listened to you go over any of that family plan of service?
Again, his argument is that he would like a DNA test, that he's not going to work any services or participate otherwise.
And as we, I think, covered at the last hearing, he has already been adjudicated as the father, correct?
That is my understanding, yes, ma'am.
All right. So it's fair to say he's made no progress on that family plan of service? Yes,
ma'am, that is correct.
All right. So then let's talk Tyler Searcy. What is your understanding of what's going on with his housing?
It's my understanding that he's currently residing with Christy in Canyon, Texas.
Have you seen him there yourself?
Yes, ma'am. On June 27th, I went to conduct my face-to-face visit with Christy Sanders, and Tyler Searcy was there at the residence.
Now, has Miss Sanders been continuing to tell you he doesn't live there?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
All right. And did she have any response to Tyler being there that time?
Yes, she did. She stated he was there because that's the address listed for parole, and his parole officer was going to visit him. Therefore, that's why he was there at that residence.
Okay. And you were present for the officer's testimony, correct?
I was, yes, ma'am.
And so that's another date on which he was relaying to someone that he was living there, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, have you had the opportunity to talk to Tyler about where he's living?
Yes, ma'am. I spoke with Tyler on June 27th as well, and he confirmed the same story that Chrissy had told me, and he stated that he's actually living on friends' couches.
Okay. Did he give you any names or any addresses so you could follow up?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Now, has Tyler made any progress on any of the other services in his service plan?
No, ma'am, he has not.
What has your contact been like with Tyler prior to seeing him in person last month?
The last time I had made contact with him was in May. Was in April. I did not make contact with him in May, and I did make contact with him in June.
Okay.
So, and it's just been in person. There's no phone number for me to contact him on.
Okay. What is his explanation for why you can't call him?
He doesn't have phone service.
Okay. Now, as far as drug screening, has Mr. Searcy been drug screening?
Yes, ma'am. His last drug screen, I believe, was in April. That he's only able to do hair follicles due to his dialysis.
Right. And so, is he due for another hair follicle test?
Yes, ma'am. This month he is due for another hair follicle.
All right. And so, would you ask the court to order that today?
All right. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are there any other updates you have regarding Mr. Searcy or any other information the department needs?
No, ma'am.
And at this point, is it accurate that he's still not doing weekly visits?
He is not doing weekly visits.
Okay. Were those suspended, or is he just not participating since he says he doesn't have a phone?
He's not participating. We have agreed to therapeutic visits, but he states that he doesn't have phone service, therefore he cannot participate.
Okay. And is he just not able, or is he unwilling to do anything in person if that becomes an option? Has he given you any other alternatives?
He has not, ma'am.
All right. So then let's talk about Christy Sanders, the mother in the case, and I guess her progress on her service plan. So let's go Give me a minute so I can find where I need to be. All right. So, as far as the service plan, what sort of services has she been engaged in?
Christy has completed her psychosocial. We have set up an OSAR for her. She is continuing, I believe, to do her 90 days, her 90 meetings in 90 days for the recommendation on her psychosocial. She also states that she has almost completed her parenting classes. I don't have any certificate of completion. And she states that she only has 4 more individual therapy sessions with Jennings, but I don't have confirmation of that either.
Okay. Now, as far as drug testing, has she been drug testing for the department?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And when was the last time that she drug tested?
The last time she drug tested was on June 18th.
All right. And has she been consistently doing UA tests since since we're in our involvement?
Yes, ma'am.
And have those been pretty much negative throughout?
Been negative, yes, ma'am.
All right. And so, what about the most recent hair follicle?
Her most recent hair follicle was on June 18th as well.
And was that positive or negative?
That was positive.
What was that positive for?
Methamphetamine.
All right. And so, as far as the service plan, is it fair to say that Miss Sanders seems to be making some progress?
Ma'am?
Is it fair to say that she's making some progress on her service plan?
She's making some progress on her service plan. Yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately, is a fair bit of that unconfirmable at this time?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Now, you said she was referred to an OSAR. Do you know if she's completed that yet?
She's not completed it yet.
What has Miss Sanders told you about her drug use?
I had a phone conversation with her on July 15th, and she told me that she is not actively using methamphetamine, but she does want to go to a 30-day rehabilitation program.
Have you talked to her about sort of what that, I guess, that would entail?
She actually informed me that she is going to a 30-day drug program starting July 24th in Lubbock, Texas.
Did she give you the information about that facility?
She stated that it's at Deadbeat in Lubbock, Texas.
Have you provided her any sort of releases so that we can get the information from them?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Okay. But have you talked to her about sort of if she says she's not using, whether or not rehab is going, why she needs rehab?
She stated that she just wants to get to the bottom of things.
Did she give you an idea about what that was supposed to mean?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Based off of what you've heard, do you have concerns about Miss Sanders having Mr. Desmond Johnson around the children?
Yes, ma'am, that's very concerning.
Is it your understanding that Mr. Johnson either transported her to or was with her for visitation on July 4th?
That is correct.
All right, and so that would have been a whole month after this arrest at the apartment that Officer Arriaga testified to, correct?
That is correct.
Were you aware previously that Mr. Johnson was a sex offender?
No, ma'am, I was not aware of that.
And so is that a concern to the department?
That is the concern, yes, ma'am.
Were you aware that Mr. Johnson was staying in that apartment?
No, ma'am, I was not aware of that.
Has Miss Sanders at certain points refused you entry into her home?
Yes, ma'am, on May 28th.
Okay. And that would have been about a week or so prior to the incident that the officer testified to, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Are there any recommendations in the psychosocial that need to be made in order of the court today? And as far as the you said she is attending the 12-step program?
She is attending. That she has told me that she is still attending. Yes, ma'am.
There was a recommendation that from the psychosocial that she complete a domestic violence course. Was that part of the original service plan?
That was not a part of the original service plan. No, ma'am.
Would you ask that that be added to the as an order of the court today as a service to be completed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you, I mean, just in, I guess, an abundance of caution, would you ask that the court order that Desmond Johnson not be allowed to be around the children?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that there is a continuing danger to return to the home of any of their parents?
Yes, ma'am.
Specifically for Cisneros, what are some of the concerns?
Mr. Cisneros has not provided me any information according to where he resides, so I can't even see, a home to be safe for to.
And is it fair to say that he does not want to be the parent? As far as Mr. Searcy, what are some of the concerns there?
Some of the concerns are he's still testing positive for substances. He's not able to confirm with me a solid residence as well, or he's not also provided me with any means of way to support himself, let alone his daughter.
Is there concern too that he's not engaging in any kind of visitation?
Right.
What are some of the continued danger concerns regarding Mrs. Sanders and the children returning to her?
Some of the continuing dangers are, for one, there was paraphernalia found in her residence. 2, her drug screens are still positive as well. 3, she's allowing a sex offender to reside in her home or be in her home.
Are there concerns too about her and Mr. Searcy continuing to lie about whether or not he's in that residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Or do you have concerns that even if Miss Sanders were not using narcotics, the fact that she's around people like Mr. Johnson and around Tyler, who she says or has testified to in the past is responsible for her positive screens, do you find that concerning and a continuing danger to the children?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe the department's making reasonable efforts to reunify the children with the family?
Yes, ma'am.
What are some of the efforts that you've taken to do that?
So some of the efforts we've made is we've set up service authorizations so Christie's services can be paid for. We've also set up in-person visits for Christy to see her children weekly. And also I do conduct monthly face-to-face visits with the parents and the children to communicate efforts made for them to complete services.
Okay. Now, do you believe that the services in those family plans of service could help alleviate the reasons that led to the removal?
Yes, ma'am.
So in addition to the 12-step program and the domestic violence class and the no contact with Mr. Johnson, again, are there any other things that the department's asking to be made in order of the court today?
No, ma'am.
Are you recommending that the department remain TMC and the children remain with their grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
I was the only service you're asking that I order mother to do today that's not included in her service plan was that domestic violence class.
And the 12-step program, I believe that she's doing that, but it's not technically part of the court order or the family plan. Correct, Angela?
That is correct.
I'm going to, object to adding a 12-step program. I don't believe the court can order a religious program to a person.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a religious program, but that objection will be overruled. I'm not going to order it since she's doing it anyway, so I guess it's a moot question. Okay, Miss Tidwell, if I don't know that St. Francis contracts with Dovetree and Lubbock, do they?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, so if Miss Sanders wants us to pay for her inpatient, which I applaud her for wanting to do, it would have to be with someone that if the department's going to pay for it, then it'd have to be with someone that we contract with, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, all right, thank you. Ms. Cobb, questions?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins, questions?
Miss Tidwell, where is her visitation with the children?
Now Nancy Trask is supervising visits, so that would be at maternal grandmother's residence.
Okay. And why is it at maternal grandmother's residence?
Because so we were supervising the visits, and once we get approved by our supervisor when visits are going smooth or going well, then I can get approval for kinship to supervise visits, and that's what I did. I had got that approval through my supervisor.
And is it just the maternal grandmother that's present for the visits?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Now, when you've met with Miss Sanders, have you had any, I guess, visible issues with her being under the influence or anything like that when you've communicated with her?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you ever see anything in her apartment that gave you concern?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
On June 27th, when I entered her home, there was a plate that had some like residue stuff looking like on it. And the only reason why it was brought to my attention is because Tyler had made it evident and made Christy put it up.
Okay, so he kind of pointed it out. Hey, put that plate up real quick.
Yes,
thing.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And in regards to Mr. Johnson, did she ever indicate that she had Mr. Johnson living in her apartment, or is that her apartment at all?
It's her apartment, and no, ma'am, she never had told me that he was living there.
Okay. And do we know, I guess the officer mentioned some toys in the apartment. Do we know if she's having access or if there are any other children that go to that residence?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Anybody have further questions for Ms. Tidwell? All right, then, Ms. Wildman, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Tidwell, I want to compliment you too. You were very well prepared, and I'm sure everyone involved in this hearing appreciates the fact that you're so well prepared, and I certainly do appreciate it. I want to commend you on that. Okay, Ms. Kopp, did you have any witnesses?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins, witnesses.
No witnesses.
All right, then, Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
I recommend that the department remain temporary managing conservator and the placement be continued. The children are doing well there. So as far as visitation goes, Mr. Searcy should not, I believe his visits should be suspended. He's not doing his visits and he's obviously not working any services at this point. Additionally, with the mom's visits, enjoys her visits with her mom. I think it would be a detriment to her if we stop the visits. However, I do believe the visits should be supervised by St. Francis since we do have some issues with drug use and visible, she pled guilty to paraphernalia. I just really feel like those need to be supervised by someone who is more equipped to handle the situation if it goes sideways, I guess.
Okay, I tend to like it when placement can supervise visitation rather than the department. So
I agree, Judge, and normally I would I would prefer that as well, but given the situation of her behavior, I feel like that instead of canceling the visits, I feel like that would be a more appropriate step.
Okay, all right. Okay, Ms. Wildman, you talked about Mr. Cisneros not having been served. Are you asking that I order that he be served by publication today?
We have found one new address that I believe we've sent something out, Judge, so I don't know that we're ordering it. We'd ask for it today. We will file that motion if we're unsuccessful in locating him at the most recent address. I think our investigator found it.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Just let me know if you need to. We don't need a hearing or anything. Just send me an order to serve him by publication. I'll be happy to sign it.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the children's current placements. I'll order Tyler Searcy to hair strand drug screen by 4 p.m. today at Care Express in Amarillo. I'll order there be no contact between the children and Desmond Johnson. And I will order that Ms. Sanders complete the domestic violence class. I'll order no visitation for either Jerry Cisneros or Tyler Searcy with any of the children. I'm just going to hold off. I haven't heard anything that suggests that the visitation supervised by grandma is going bad, so I'm not going to order that it be at either St. Francis or the department today. So, okay,